Hello, boys and girls. It is Monday, April 27th. Before we start our remote learning today, I wanted to have a little talk with you guys. Our government made a decision last week. Maybe your grown-ups already told you. But school is closed for the rest of the school year. That means we'll still be doing remote learning, but our building won't be back open. At least not until summer camps, if they're allowed to open them, or possibly next year when you're ready to go to second grade. I don't know about you, but this is how I was feeling when I found out. I was pretty upset. I miss you guys. I miss our classroom. I miss our friends. I miss getting to see you guys every day. I was pretty sad. You may be feeling a mix of emotions yourself. You might be a little surprised. Who would have thought your first grade year would end this way? Maybe you're feeling a little sad. Maybe you miss your friends, you miss your teachers. Maybe you're not really a big fan of doing learning remotely. Maybe you're angry. Feeling angry is something that a lot of us feel right now. We thought our first grade year would go one way, and now all this crazy stuff is happening. That can make anybody feel angry. Maybe you're feeling a little relieved. Maybe first grade was feeling a little tough and you like working at home. Or maybe you're even happy. Maybe you're digging remote learning and you're happy to continue working from home. No matter what you're feeling, it's okay. All of us are going to feel completely differently and maybe even feel a little bit the same. And that's okay. It's also okay if one day you feel happy about it and the next day you feel sad. What I want you to know is that we are still here for you. Even though your first grade year is going to be ending remotely, I'm still your teacher, Maestra Yahira is still your teacher, and Cherry Park is still your school. And above all, we'll still do anything for you. So if you want to talk to us on the phone, if you want to do a little Zoom meeting with us, if you're feeling a little sad and you need a little support, just let us know. We are always here for you. All right, enough of all that. Let's get started. So today we have our morning message, reader's workshop, writing, centers, and guided reading. Here's our morning message. It's a letter, so make sure you put the date at the top, April 27th, 2020. And this is how the letter reads. Dear boys and girls, there are many ways you can help our planet. One thing you can do is recycle bottles. How do you think this helps the planet? Love, Mrs. Brenton. Now, there's a question below that asks, what are some things you can recycle? A lot of you read some Earth Day books with me last week, so you probably already have a lot of ideas. Either way, I'm sure most of you can think of some things that we can recycle. Choose two and write them on the lines below. After that, it's time to talk about plurals. So a plural is when we take a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, and go from one to many. So one dog is singular, one dog. Two dogs is plural. It's anything more than one. Now, when we're doing our best spelling, though, it's important to pay attention to one important rule. If the word that you are writing ends with an CH, an SH, an S, or an X, you're not going to just add an S to the end. You're going to add an ES. All other nouns that you might use, you're going to add an S. So for example, dog becomes dogs. Why? Because there's no CH, SH, S, or X at the end of dogs. Dogs ends with a G. On the other hand, we have foxes. Fox ends with an X. Therefore, we're going to use ES to show that one fox is now two foxes. To get some practice on that, use the words on the side. Cat, plant, box, pig, wish, cow, watch, bus. Look at that ending letter. Is it a CH, an SH, an S, or an X? If so, make sure you're using that ES to make that singular noun become plural. If not, just add an S. All right, when you're done with that, it's time for Reader's Workshop. Today you're going to be listening to Skippy John Jones and the Big Bones. Click on the YouTube link to listen to a read aloud of that story. When you're done listening to the story, think about what you would do if you went back in time where the dinosaurs lived. What dinosaurs would you like to see? How would you feel about it? Nervous, excited, scared? If you want, as an option, you can write 2 or 3 sentences in your guided reading notebook and draw a picture about what your adventure would look like in the time of the dinosaurs. Again, this is an option and not a requirement. For writing today, you're going to begin by listening to my YouTube video with our writing lesson for the day. And when you're done with that, you're going to begin working on the final copy of your book. So, last week you finished the rough draft. And remember, writers are always making lots of drafts of their work. Dr. Seuss himself probably made dozens of drafts of each of his books. It makes your writing better if you're constantly going back, checking your spelling, checking your work, making sure it makes sense, and making sure it's as good as it can be. When you're finished with that, grab some sheets of white paper. You don't really need to make your book cover again, but if you want to, you can. But go back and rewrite each page in your best handwriting. Now remember, this is your final draft. You don't have to change anything. Just copy the work from your rough draft over to your final draft. So you're not writing anything new, you're just rewriting what you wrote before. But this time in your very best handwriting with as little scratch marks and erase marks as you can. Then you're also going to add your illustrations. Now, many of you already did this and had some really great illustrations. If you didn't do that already, make sure you're drawing really good pictures that match your story. You don't want to have a picture of something random that isn't included on the words on the page. Make sure the words on the page and the pictures go together. When you're done, you can have a grown-up staple or paper clip, or you can even punch holes and use yarn or ribbon or folders to bind your book together. Now, this is something you're going to have all week to do, so don't feel like you have to do this all today. You're going to be working on your final draft all week, so maybe do a little bit today and save the rest for Wednesday. For guided reading today, I'm going to be meeting with Blue Group on Zoom. So again, Purple Group, I'll be meeting with you at 10, Green Group at 10:20, Red Group at 10:40, Blue Group at 11, and Yellow Group at 11:20. And remember, this is my Blue Group homeroom, and those are the reading group colors in Blue Group. Anyone who's in the Yellow Group homeroom, you are going to be doing one level reading passage from your packet. Read the story and answer the questions. So we have a new selection of centers this week. You're going to choose one to do on Monday, one to do on Wednesday, and of course, if you want extra practice, you can do one each day of the week. So here are your center options. You can cut and paste your word sort in your journal. You can practice writing your sight words in your favorite color or with sidewalk chalk, Play-Doh, typing, any of that kind of fun stuff. You can also go to storyonline.net and listen to a favorite story of your choice. You can also sort the following words by vowel sound. Do they make the long I sound or the long O sound? Write the words in your journal or on the paper provided and draw a picture of them. Here are the words: boat, dime, ocean, pie, nose, rope, 9, robot, fire, cry. So say those words and listen. Do you hear a long I sound or a long O sound? If I were you, I would make a T-chart with I on one side and O on the other, and I would list those words on the correct side of the chart. Another option would be to pick one of your favorite books and look for words that have double vowel patterns or vowel teams. Vowel teams are when we see two vowels next to each other, and usually when we see that, we say two vowels are walking, the first one does the talking. So here's some examples of vowel patterns: EA, EE, OA, UI, and AI. Go through your book and see how many words you can find and write them in your guided reading notebook. We also have a new makerspace challenge this week. And remember, this is something you can do as a center choice. And today's challenge is to make something with an old toilet paper roll. I'll show you some cool ideas I found online. One idea is to make a dog. Look how cute. You could also make a race car. They used those caps for those yogurt containers or applesauce containers for the wheels and glued them on the side. I think that looks pretty fun. You can also make your favorite animal out of paper rolls. I even found Olaf. So, if you want, grab an old toilet paper roll from your house and make any one of these crafts, or come up with another idea on your own. All right, now for social studies this week, you are going to be identifying the difference between a good and a service. So you're going to watch this YouTube link below, and it's going to teach you about what the difference between a good and a service is. And if you really want to understand it, you might want to watch the video more than once. When you're done, you're going to open up your packet and look for the worksheet that looks like this one right on the side. You're going to color, cut, sort, and glue all of these pictures. So on one side, you're going to have a chart, good or service. So once you're done coloring and cutting out these pictures, you're going to glue them in the correct side of the chart. Does this picture represent a good or does it represent a service? All right, that's all you have to do for me today. Don't forget to post your work on Class Dojo. I can't wait to see it. And remember, I'm here if you need me, and I miss you guys all very much.